Casey, good to be back with you again for another video. I only got like a few records to show you. It was a spontaneous vinyl shopping day. I woke up and just in the mood to shop for vinyl. But I didn't get a lot of records, just a small stack right here. But some fun stuff here, and they're all 80s records. It seems like that's all I buy these days is 80s records. So let's just get started with some 12-inch singles, okay? First up is from the band Rush. This is a 12-inch single for the song Big Money. One of my favorite Rush albums from the 80s era is Power Windows, and this is a song from it, actually the first single from it, and it had that cool 80s video where they were playing on a big, Rush was playing on a big Monopoly board. Great stuff, and so I was real surprised to see this as a 12-inch single. I've never seen it before, and it's on the Vertigo label. There we go, Rush, Big Money, and there's the front side, and you know, on the front side it has song Big Money and Territories, and on the back side we have a live version of Red Sector A. Really cool stuff, and I'm going to be seeing Rush on their current tour, and this makes no sense at all. The inner sleeve is from Purple Rain, Prince's Purple Rain. I don't know how that got in there, but oh well, I'll take it. Some of the weird stuff you find when you're buying used vinyl. So we'll put Rush inside of the Purple Rain sleeve. But going back though, I'm going to be seeing Rush in November, and I looked at the current playlist that they have, set list they have, and there's a lot of songs from the Power Windows album they're going to be playing live, so I can't wait for that show. So Rush, Power Windows, The Big Money on 12-inch single. Really glad to have that. Another 12-inch single, another song from the 80s. It's from Peter Gabriel, the song I Don't Remember. I've always seen the 45 record to this, but I've never seen it in a 12-inch single. So I was pretty surprised to find this. And it's on the Charisma label, like a blue Charisma label, as you can see. And the other song on here on side A, well, it has on side A has I Don't Remember, and it also has a Loza. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Remix of Biko, and Here Comes the Flood. I think it's sung in German. So this is really cool collection. I have never, like I said, never seen this on 12-inch before. It comes from one of my favorite Peter Gabriel records, which is the Melt album, or Peter Gabriel number 3, however you refer to that album. That's the cover of the album it is from. And I don't remember is a great song, so we're glad to have this on 12er. Alright, this one I was thrilled to find. I have been looking for this one for a long time. Feels good to have it in the collection. Living Color, Time's Up. And I've had this on CD since the 90s when it came out. I believe I had a tape a few times. Keep losing it. But I still have my CD. This is one of my favorite albums from Living Color, and all the Living Color records I have in my collection. The first album, Vivid, Stained, and now this one. I got all the Living Color albums. I was interested on vinyl now, and came with the original insert. There's a little photo of the band, and what's great about this one, it is on colored vinyl. Doesn't that look awesome? So this is going to be fun to spin. I love the band Living Color. They were one of my favorite bands in the 90s. I love the rhythm section of the band. The bass player and the drummer in this band, they are extraordinary together. So I was really happy to find this album. Probably my favorite song on here is Love Rears Its Ugly Head. I've always dug the hell out of that song, plus the title track, Time's Up. This is a great album. I just can't wait to dig into this one, and to find it on vinyl, it was enough to get me excited, and to find a colored vinyl version of the record, this was a great find. Another blast from the past. from the band Whitesnake, Slip of the Tongue. I had this cassette, I downloaded the CD, illegal torrent of course, because I didn't want to pay, but this is, I gotta admit, even though I'm not the biggest Whitesnake fan, I do like the band, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of theirs. This is probably this and the album before this was my favorite Whitesnake, but definitely this one. Steve Vai is the guitarist on this one, and there are some great songs on this record. I like this drawing here, this logo, it just looks tight. And the song, and it's on Geffen Records. The song I keep going back to that I love on here is Sailing Ships. I've always loved that song. It starts off as an acoustic ballad and builds to something epic. Great song. Judgment Day is a cool, steady rocker. Slip of the Tongue is a great opening track. Fool for Your Loving was the single off of this, the first single. Kitten's Got Claws and Wings of a Storm are just great songs off this album. So this is actually a good album, and this is going to be fun to listen to. So Whitesnake, Slip of the Tongue. Okay, why I bought this record is going to take some explaining. I do like one song off here. The rest of the album I'm not really sure about, but it's from the 80s band Kajagoogoo, and the album is called White Feather, and it's a promo copy, as you can see here. Even came with the original promo sticker here. Pretty nice. Everybody remembers the song Too Shy. I always loved that song. I thought it was a cool song. I don't really recall anything else on this record, because I wasn't really a big fan of this band, but I did love the song. But one reason why I started thinking about Kajagoogoo lately is because of the band's bass player. And his name right here is Nick. Nick, the bass player. That's this guy right here. Real good bass player. Fantastic talent on the bass. The guy has mad skills on the bass. Now, why I've been thinking of him lately is because of this video I just bought from Steven Wilson called Get All You Deserve. Now, what does the bass player and Kajagoogoo have to do with this DVD while he's the bassist in the Steven Wilson band? He is in Steven Wilson's band, and the guy's name is Nick Baggs, and I'll point him out on the credits here, as you can see there, on bass guitar, Nick Baggs. And for the life of me, I didn't realize it was that Nick Baggs. And I'll wait till I get in focus here, if I ever do. I didn't realize it was that Nick Baggs. And why is this thing stuck on? There we go. I didn't realize that the bass player for Steven Wilson's band was once the bass player for Kajagoogoo. It took me a long time to put that together. When I saw the two names together, I said, it can't be that same guy. The guy in Kajagoogoo played with Steven Wilson, and 80s pop band suddenly is in Steven Wilson's, I guess you could say, prog fusion rock band. But it's the same dude. And he's just as extraordinary on this album as he is on this live concert DVD. He's also on the Grace for Drowning record as well, from Steven Wilson. So Kajagoogoo, White Feather, basically bought it for the song Too Shy, and the bass player from this band is now in Steven Wilson's band. How about that? More 80s stuff. From the Psychedelic Furs, Mirror Moves. What is his name again? He goes by the handle of This Planet's Blog, I believe it's called. I gotta look it up again. But I believe his name is Brett. I should have looked it up before I did this video. He featured this album in one of his videos, where he just talked about just this record on his entire video. And it got me really curious, because I do remember this record from back in the day. I never owned it on tape, album, or CD, but I do remember it very well, and it inspired me to go on YouTube and look up songs from this album and just give them a listen. I really liked what I heard, so I was hoping that I would find this in the record store today. And sure enough I did, and a pretty clean copy too. So real glad this is in the collection now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to love this record because the few songs I heard on YouTube I really liked. So the Psychedelic Furs Mirror Moves, I'm real glad it's here. More 80s. I just love me some 80s. From the band Midnight Oil, this is Diesel and Dust. Another favorite band of mine from back in the day. It's a gatefold, so I'll show you the gatefold. Real nice. The songs Beds Are Burning and The Dead Heart were my favorite on this record. I really wish I had seen them live. I never got the opportunity to see them in concert. They are a great band, and I really dug the hell out of this album. And of course we can see the original insert. Very hard to read these lyrics with this font, but it's a killer album. Another album on the Columbia label. Fantastic band, and I remember I had a lot of friends that used to own this record, so I've actually heard quite a bit of it, and they are a band that you can't help but get into, so very welcomed album on this collection. These next two are just to fill up the collection. This one, I've owned this record previously, but there were so many skips in it, I had to find a good upgrade. It's from Jody Watley. It's her first solo album, and this is a great album. If you're into the 80s R&B pop, she put out a killer debut solo album. And, you know, looking for a new love, still a thrill, some kind of lover, Don't You Want Me, most of all, some great songs. So, and she's just a drop-dead gorgeous woman, and I finally got a clean copy of her debut solo album, and it was only $2, so why not? Also only $2 was the follow-up, and this album is called Larger Than Life from Jody Watley, and some great music on this one as well. Real Love, Friends, Everything, some great songs, and my favorite picture right there, the woman was a hottie, I'm telling you. But she had a great voice and really wrote some good music, so I'm really happy to have these two albums in the to fill out the collection. She was one of my favorite 80s R&B singers, and she still has a great voice, and still puts out really good music. Well, that's going to do it, folks. Been real busy with my bands lately, especially this month. We're doing a lot of shows. Both bands are doing a lot of shows, and in one show, both bands are playing on the same stage, so I got double duties behind the drum kit towards the end of this month. So this is going to be a busy month for me behind the drum set. We got Broke Note Undertone. We've been recording a few songs. They've been mastered already. One of them has been copywritten. It was sent to a radio station in San Francisco, so we'll hear if we get any airplay from that, because we just sent it off recently in the last couple of days. For the band Alphabet Asylum, we were recently played on a local radio station here in town called Kwin, K-E-W-I-N. They played us during their unsigned artists featurette they do every Thursday night, and it was a first for me. I've never been in a band where I can hear us on the radio. I've never been played on the radio before, so I had my ghetto blaster. And as soon as they announced the name of the band, name of the song, I turned it up and sat there and just listened to my drumming coming out of my ghetto blaster over their airways. It was fantastic. You know, I called everybody I knew to listen to it. It was a contest where you vote for your favorite local artists. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but I think the winner was kind of predetermined before the contest. There was a rapper from the Bay Area that the radio station was really hyping. I mean, they hyped him for like 2 minutes, then they interviewed him over the phone for another couple of minutes, and then played his song. So, I mean, and then obviously he won the contest that week, and we didn't, but it didn't really matter to me. It was just great to hear my drumming on the radio. It was a first for me, and I felt really excited about it. So that's pretty much the lowdown as far as the bands. It's going to be a busy October, but it's good to be busy. Well, that's going to do it for me. Until I go record shopping again, I'll see you at the next video. Take care, guys.